Disinformation czar Nina Jankowicz. Well, new polling shows a growing appetite for Nina Jankowicz government-styled censorship, specifically among Democrats, which is odd. Real Clear Politics found 47% of Democrats say free speech should be legal only under certain circumstances. 75% of Democrats say government has a responsibility to censor social media they deem hateful. In its write-up about the findings, Real Clear Politics noted the left's shift against free speech is relatively new development. Traditionally opposing censorship, whether imposed by government or corporations, was a bedrock principle of liberalism in this country. Host of the Aggressive Progressive podcast, Chris Hahn, is actually in the house,
right here,
not
baby.
via remote. Here it is.
That's not a real person, Nina Jankowicz. What are you
She
talking about?
Oh, really? Really? Okay, that's
She's
the best
real.
you have.
That was a real government appointee of the Biden administration.
Yes. And that's the best you have?
I'm going to just take the fifth on that one.
Okay, literally, 75% of Democrats say government has a responsibility to censor hateful social media.
I'm not counted in one of those. I'm one of those free speech.
So you're one of the 1 in 4 Democrats.
I'm one of the 1 in 4. I think it's a Gen X thing. I'm a Gen Xer, right? I think these millennials that are dominating the party right now, they don't understand what the war was all these years, and they don't really get the fact that free speech is what has made us the greatest nation on earth. It's what won many of these fights that now they take for granted, like integration of our schools, like the ability to say no to the government. This is all a result of people exercising their right to free speech. And unfortunately, the generation that is behind me and the one that's behind them are too far removed from those fights to understand it.
I know you watched the show religiously, and since you were in the green room for the past 30 minutes, you were forced to. Does this go back to what we were talking about the changing standards of the soft generation, of all of a sudden a generation that has it so good that they don't have to worry about the absolute right of free speech? They get to be offended and say, the government must protect me from mean tweets?
Well, I think it's more of the fact their parents protected them from everything, right, than the government. They didn't have it great. I mean,
but why do they believe the government's going to solve their problem?
They did have a pandemic.
Why do they think, though, the government's going to solve their problem?
I don't know why they think the government's going to solve their problem. I think perhaps it's because the government spending in this country has been going up and up and up and up, and has been putting more and more in their reach than it has in the past. And I think also the pandemic has skewed the way a lot of people look at what government does. Some people view what the government did during the pandemic as wonderful and should be done for everything. I think it should be a very rare circumstance what happened in the pandemic, and I don't think we're going to see that for at least another generation.
Only 31% strongly disagree. Only 31% strongly agree with the statement, I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it, which is a bedrock principle,
it's my principle.
Of America. What is so concerning
I was a liberal on Fox for 13 years.
What is so troubling to me about this, and I'll give you the last word, is that so much of what was censored during the pandemic in the name of misinformation, disinformation, which is what this poll is talking about, turned out later to be true.
Well, remember, it wasn't the government that was doing that
The government was putting pressure on social media companies to do it. Come on, Chris.
They weren't doing it.
They were putting pressure.
The companies were doing it, right? And those platforms are not. Remember, the First Amendment applies to government. The government shall pass no laws limiting speech, not Twitter, Facebook. They can pass whatever law they want. That's capitalism.
But the government shouldn't also be allowed to put pressure on Twitter. You know that. Come on.
I think that, it'd be naive to think that governments across this planet throughout history haven't put pressure on the private sector to do what they wanted to do. This government's done it. Governments before it has done it. Governments in the future will do it. It's unfortunate.
Okay, I promise you the last word. I will not back down on that.
Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.